This is K1DBC. All stations please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in 5 minutes. Hello everyone, welcome to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net YouTube channel. I'll be playing a few minutes of a recent video from the South Metro Fire Rescue PIO YouTube channel. This is the video for Fleet Friday, Battalion Chief 1. So it'll have some radio stuff, and we'll probably take this to the beginning of it. So we'll check this out here.
Yeah, let me know when I get some second alarm resources on scene. I need them to meet my location.
Yeah, copy that. You're going to get Engine 1, Engine 2, and Tower 1. Command, Division 7.
Division 7, go ahead. Confirming you need 2 additional suppression units.
That's a firm, Steve. And also, if we can make sure that we have medical transport unit that's going to be available for us.
Your suppression units ready. You're going to get Engine 2 and Tower 1.
Division 7. Tower 45. Okay, Tower 45. I copy. Primary is complete in the fire unit.
All right, Chief, thanks for letting me hang out with you at training to see how everything works inside the truck from the incident command perspective. Now I'm sure everybody at YouTube would love to see the light package on this thing and how you have all of your equipment set up. So let's take a look.
Sounds great.
All right. All right, so the first thing I noticed, Chief, as we look down here, there is a whole lot more going on than the standard F-150 has. Can you kind of walk me through the buttons and the radios and what all that means and what all it does?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a big upgrade from what we used to have in the old Battalion 1 vehicle. This is the latest and greatest for lights and sirens. I've already noticed running at night that the visibility and how bright I am is increased tremendously compared to the old Battalion 1 vehicle. So we've got a bunch of different lights here. Obviously the light bar, we've got a 3-phase switch here that can operate front lights. Go to a second and you get the back, and going to the 3rd phase operates all the emergency lights. The radios, I have 2 mobile 800 radios here. And I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up or not, but the way I do it, at least for me, is I have my main radio set for South Metro's dispatch. I scan, so I get both the channel 1, which is the channel that we dispatch on, and then when I go responding on channel 2, I also have that on, so I can not miss a call, South Metro obviously. And then my upper radio, I always put on whatever law enforcement agency I happen to be. If I'm in Battalion 1, I keep it on DCSO. If I run to Jefferson County, I switch over to Jefferson County. I found over the years by scanning law enforcement's channel, oftentimes I get a lot of information from their dispatch center that may not have made it to our dispatch center, and when I'm en route, it helps in making tactical decisions. So that's why I run those. And on the lower radios are our VHF radios. Previous Battalion 1 rig, we had 1 mobile VHF, and we had a portable that was also mounted in the cab here. Upgrade for us now, we have 2 mobile VHF radios. Super helpful, obviously, when we're working with the Forest Service, when I go up Waterton Canyon and we're working at mutual aid with West Metro, ourselves, Forest Service, West Douglas. It just gives us capabilities. The 800, we lose communications.
This is K1DBC. The Dear You Started Learning Net will start in 1 minute.
Canyon.
All stations please stand by.
But with the VHF radio, it enables us to have solid comms when working up in the canyon and in other areas of our district too. West Douglas, if we pop a wildland fire for working with Forest Service and we get in areas there where we have poor communication and coverage with the 800s, we can use a VHF there also. I will highlight one thing on the light bar here that I didn't hit is the beacon switch.
All right, so thanks for checking that out here. We'll start the net here in just a moment. This is a video of the new Battalion Chief 1 vehicle, Fleet Friday, from the South Metro Fire Rescue channel on YouTube, put on by their PIO. So really cool stuff here. They've been around for quite a while, and pretty good champions for public information officers and what they can show. So Yeah, check that out on your own time. That was just a small portion of it. They have a little bit of some of their antennas, independent
rig here. I have 3 headsets.
operations
one
of
for,
headsets,
the
things
front
like
seat
that.
here,
So
one for
pretty
the
cool stuff here.
passenger, obviously, and then one for the rear seat. So there's push to talk there.
All right, hello, and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Net for November 8th, 2023. How this year has gone by pretty quickly. This is a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general, and thankfully we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is K1DBC. My name is Daron, Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie, and I'm net control for this evening's net. Over the last few weeks, we've been talking about recent meetings. There was the 285 Tech Fest that happened over the weekend. There was some winter field days coming up next year. Let's see, Patriot VE team testing. We talked about during our Sunday night nets, and a lot of antenna discussion and things like that. So we can discuss anything that you would like and more. All right, so we will be taking your check-ins, comments, questions, and more this evening. We meet every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490. Let's see. Appreciate everyone checking in. Again, contact us, Elmer at w0tx.org if you like. Plenty of information over on our website, w0tx.org. A lot of contact emails and phone numbers. We also stream and archive our nets on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to check in via the live stream, if you can't make the meetings, or if you can't hit the repeaters, it's a great opportunity to see some behind the scenes of the net, and also participate if you can't make it via the radio. Same setup as always, just starting to reuse some of the things I have here, so appreciate that, Alex. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? Okay, with that, there's another opportunity to follow along with the check-ins.
Kilo 0, Lima Alpha India, K0 LEI, Larry in Lakewood.
Kilo Echo 0 Alpha Bravo, Ken in Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Mike 4, Charlie Foxtrot Tango, Jonathan in Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Broomfield. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Whiskey Charlie. Brian, continue, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We'll hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to welcome all the following check-ins. There was a couple of doubles in there, but we had K0 LAI Larry, KE0 Alpha Bravo Ken, KM4 CFT Jonathan, AF0E Alex, and KF0 AWC Brian. Thank you all so much for checking in. If you had tried to check in and you didn't hear your call sign, go ahead and try once more.
Whiskey 1, Charlie Bravo Yankee, Peter in Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Foxtrot Papa India, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC, Delta Bravo Charlie. We'll hold up there for just a moment.
W0TX, repeater.
All right, this is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie, Net Control. That time we had a new check in there, W1CBY, Whiskey 1 Charlie Bravo Yankee. Peter, thank you for checking in. I was looking at your QRZ page, pretty cool looking photos and a lot of great hobbies and part of the aviation and marine community there. And yeah, really cool abode there. So yeah, thanks for checking in. I think this is maybe potentially your first time, but we definitely really appreciate you checking in there, CBY Peter. This is K1 DBC Net Control. We also had KF0 FPI Ron. Thank you all so much. Thank you for checking in as well. As always, Peter, we may come back to you if you feel comfortable throughout the net, talking about how what's gotten you in ham radio. Looks like you got issued a call sign maybe in 2020. But yeah, we'd love to hear you. But I will continue to take check-ins. There was one call in there. I'm not sure if somebody wasn't speaking, but there was a key up for about 10 to 15 seconds. But didn't hear any voice. But we'll try once more. We'll go actually. Again, we'll take a second call. If your suffix, again, the suffix is the letter after the number in the call sign. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
WD0CIV, WD0CIV, Charles and Denver, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC. That time we had WD0CIV. Charles, thank you so much for checking in.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Nevada, Papa Sierra, all little check-in.
All right, sounds good. Paul, got you checked in there, KF0NPS. Thank you so much for checking in. We'll go ahead and open up the whole alphabet. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. You're tuned in to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics. We have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. We're streaming on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. You can also follow along with the check-ins, w0tx.org/check-in. With that, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name. If you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
Kilo Charlie 0, Uniform November Tango, Micah, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Oscar Alpha Victor, Chatton Aurora, no traffic.
Alpha Echo 0, Romeo Kilo, Fred in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan, Lakewood.
Alpha Echo 0, Yankee Romeo, Ed in Urbana.
All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. All right, Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. We had KC0 UNT Micah, KF0 OAV Chet, AE0 RK Fred, KE0 SUM Jonathan, and AE0 YR Ed. Thank you all so much for checking in. As always, really do appreciate it. All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. I'll continue to take check-ins here in just a moment, but just a quick recap of some things we've been talking about here recently. 285 Tech Connect Fest, a recent event that happened over this weekend that one of our members, K0LAI, gave a talk at, which was really awesome to hear on APRS. That was another topic we had recently talked about APRS last month or last week, uses about it. Using a long wire HF antenna for contacting Netherlands from the Denver area, 6-meter USB. What else? Winter Field Day. We talked about some other things in past nets as well. So this is K1 DVC Net Control. Again, we're taking your comments, questions, check-ins, everything else and more. With that, we'll throw it back to check-ins. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. If you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Let us know your call sign, your name, if any traffic or questions. Please call now.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood, with traffic.
All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. That time we had N0TRP. Jim, thank you so much for checking in and taking Net Control previously as well. Also to Alex, AF0E, anyone else that's been able to take Net Control operations via this net or other nets. We really do appreciate that. So with that, once more, this is about an hour-long meeting. We have another 45 minutes or so. I was playing at the beginning of the net over on our YouTube channel a video from the South Metro Fire Rescue in their new fleet, the Battalion Chief 1, and showing their vehicle and radios. So do check them out. Again, really cool in PIOs and public information officers and giving the public great information about emergency situations and things like that and giving a good looks into their equipment. So Once more, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes if you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please call now.
The driver and passenger seat.
And I can show, just for the viewers from the passenger side, if I wanted my own headset to talk on one of the radio channels, I've got a box right down here by my knee. And
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. There'll be plenty of opportunities to check in throughout the net. Again, if you can't make the repeater, you can visit us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. Check in there if you like. Make a comment if you want. Completely optional, but also gives a good behind the scenes to net control operations and gives good context. So we will be taking check-ins throughout the net officially, but if you don't hear anybody talking and you want to check in, or if you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to jump in with your comments or questions. So with that, I see N0TRP Jim with traffic. The net is yours. Go ahead.
Good evening, Drone. This is N0TRP. Good evening to the net. Net control is the subject of my traffic this evening. I'm not going to be available this coming 4th Wednesday. That's November 22nd, here in 2 weeks, due to a family activity. So we have a great opportunity here for anyone that would like to tackle the net control. Just very easy to do, and encourage anyone that has an interest in that to go ahead and give it a shot. Just directs the net, and Drone's done an excellent job of handling the net, and a good example just listening to him. So if you'd like an opportunity to try out net control, please don't hesitate. Just let Drone know. I'll let Drone pass along his email address that he'd like to use. So just respond to him, and he'll get you set up to operate as net control. So hopefully we'll have someone take that on, and maybe Drone at the end of the net, you might make that announcement again, just in case someone checks in late. So N0TRP back to net.
All right, N0TRP, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, the great traffic there. Just want to make sure I wasn't stepping on anyone. So if you're not aware, definitely do appreciate Jim taking that. So the 4th Wednesdays of the month are the board meetings for the Denver Radio Club. Because I normally host this net, I am on the board. I do have to take those 4th Wednesdays off. So again, really thankful to Jim, who's been able to take that for the last quite a few months here. So this is really just once a month if you want to jump in. It really just be a single opportunity if you want, or it could be a more long-term opportunity as well. Spreading the wealth and spreading the division of labor is always helpful. So please get in contact with me, K1DBC, just my call sign, Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie, at w0tx.org. Let me drop for a moment. Plenty of information on our website, w0tx.org/officers. You'll see under the board members, you'll see my name, Daron, and call sign K1DBC. It has a link to my QRZ page. It has my telephone number, so you can SMS, just text me or call me if you like, as well as email me, K1DBC@w0tx.org. We'd love to help you out there. Again, recent process here with a Google spreadsheet makes it incredibly easy to take check-ins. And listening to how nets have been ran is incredible opportunities, and going back in the YouTubes, and you'll see that it's not as much of a daunting task as you might think. So basically, you just need to type a call sign in, and just have kind of good setup maybe with a computer, keyboard, things like that. But if you're adept with a computer, you can really take net control with a lot of efficiency. So I'd be more than happy to help you out, and I'd be happy to help take check-ins. And if anybody's ever interested in that, let me drop once more here. Whether it's November 22nd or any other net control opportunity, we're happy to tag team net control operations using this spreadsheet. If you're not comfortable taking check-ins, I can listen in and take check-ins for you, and then you can help direct the net. So if anybody's interested, let us know a couple weeks from now. fourth Wednesday of the month. Get in contact with me, K1DBC at w0tx.org.
TRP, another comment?
Yeah, TRP, go right ahead.
Yes, it's N0TRP. If anyone wants like to try it, even more than just the one time, maybe trying it out next week with eye on maybe doing it for a few weeks just to get the hang of it or feel of it, that is A-OK. I'm always glad to do that, but also open to anyone giving it a try anytime. Just a great training opportunity. N0TRP, back to net.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Again, yeah, really do appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much for that. There's plenty of us who are willing to step in if nobody else chimes up. But yeah, if you want to use it as a learning opportunity, we're more than happy to help you with that. So yeah, again, thanks Jim and Alex and Kevin Schmidt, anyone else who's been able to take Net Control. Our Sunday night net has been running for 20 plus years, mostly by Jim, K0TOR, and due to life and things, he's had to step away from that. So anybody that's able to take in our nets Wednesday nights or Sunday nights, we're really appreciative of it. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We just had a check-in there online, KQ4MBU, Jeff from Virginia, North Virginia. Thank you so much for checking in on our YouTube and checking things out. If you have any questions, let us know. With that, I guess I'll take official check-ins. If you're just tuning in, this is the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics, and we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. That's not going to work. We meet every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. This is K1DBC Net Control. Again, we're here to talk about ham radio STEM topics. So with that, we'll take all call signs, all call suffixes. We'll just take an opportunity to take official check-ins. If you'd like to check in to the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
Question, SUM.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We also had N1GUM Peter checking in online, and a question there from Jonathan SUM. We'll get back to you here in just a second, Jonathan. All right, anyone else? Anyone else at the moment? Any other check-ins at the moment? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'll definitely try to remind people about Net Control opportunity, as well as kind of a show via YouTube my setup and how that it's with a fairly modest setup and a computer and screens, you can make yourself make life a lot easier for Net Control operations. So I'll try to show that and remind her of that. So with that, we'll throw it over to KE0SUM. Jonathan, and it is yours. Go ahead.
Good evening, Drone. I'll throw it out. I was interested. You have a pretty good group here tonight. I was wondering, when you're upgrading your radio, what do you think about how often do you actually upgrade your HF or VHF radios? I've had my VHF, this FTM 400, for 5 years, and I love it. But the HF radios I've had for a while, but what do you consider when you're going to upgrade? When does it become so obsolete you're not interested? KE0SUM, back to that.
All right, SUM Jonathan, this is K1DBC Net Control. Good question there. What considerations to take in when purchasing new HF equipment? I mean, we could probably answer this fairly simply or quickly, but the FT8 5070 Yaesu has been around for 10, 15, 20 plus years, and it's just as much of a good radio as a newer radio. Waterfalls and software-defined abilities and newer functions and functionality maybe to take into consideration, but it seems like ham radio equipment hasn't really changed so much over the last 10, 15 years, so that, I don't know what newer considerations one might take in when buying newer HF equipment. But anyone else who's purchased HF equipment recently, what considerations have you taken in, and what anything? Go right ahead.
LAI.
W0TX repeater.
K0 LAI, Larry, go ahead.
This is K0 LEI. At the Tech Fest last week on Saturday, there was a person that was talking about the ARRL's Clear Signal Initiative, and he showed the top 10 HF rigs that are being produced by 5 different companies, and he pointed out that most of them, all of them, are almost 100 dB sensitivity, which is pretty incredible. And he says that's now the new standard, and that's what's coming out. And he included the ICOM 7300 and the ICOM 7610, and of course the really high-end radios as well. And he said the Yaesu 710, like the AESS and the Field One, those also are in that category. And he said all this has happened over the last 5 years, I guess. So that's what I would be looking for. There has been a lot of improvement in the last 5 years for radios. K0 LEI, back to net.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I was trying to find a reference of that 100 dB. Maybe it's bandwidth, I believe, maybe potentially, but let's see. I think it was a Rob Sherwood NC0B ARL Clean Signal Initiative, newer transceivers, and it sounded like Larry mentioned there 100 dB. Something there. ICOM 7610 is a good candidate for that. So I'll throw it out to Jonathan or anyone else. Go right ahead.
No, I think Larry's exactly right. The newer radios with more modern technology and the way electronics has changed. And plus, Larry and I happen to work down at a store that sells radios. And people still come in and buy the high-end radios or bigger-end radios because it's newer and better. KE0SUM, back to net.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. I think there was a double in there, but I'm looking at the ICOM America site here. This scope provides class-leading performance and resolution, sweep speed, and 100 dB dynamic range. I'm guessing maybe the waterfall increases the amount of things you can maybe monitor all at once, maybe increases with that range. So I'll throw it out if there was a double in there or anyone else on that. Go right ahead.
This is Kilo Mike 4, Charlie Foxtrot Tango with comment.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We had a check-in online, KJ5CJN, Michael from Santa Fe check-in. I think we've had you check in here before. Really do appreciate that. You got a question there. I'll come back to you here in a minute. And then we had came for CFT Jonathan with a follow-up. Jonathan, CFT, go right ahead.
Weird numbers. Show the dynamic range, if I'm not mistaken, talking about how well it can suppress a signal that's nearby. So if you're on, let's say, 14045 megahertz, there's a really strong signal, and you want to be on 14055, you want to be like 500 hertz away from that, then the Sherwood report allows you to see how well it can suppress that other signal if you're really nearby a strong signal. So really strong. That's something that's improved over the past year. Is that, and actually a lot of them have become really affordable. One example is that I actually recently purchased was a FTDX10, which is number 3 on that list. It does make operations significantly easier, especially with things like waterfalls. Though I will say that it's not a necessary thing to have. I have plenty of radios, and my top 3, only one of them has a waterfall, and it really just depends on what you do with your radio, and if you are feeling like you're missing something. Waterfalls are great, but they aren't the be-all and end-all. They just are really helpful, especially during contests when you want to find an empty spot to work or something like that. And I'll go ahead and hand it back to Net.
All right, CFT, Jonathan, thank you so much for providing that information. I think I cut you off just right at the beginning there, but yeah, I do appreciate kind of better definitions of what dynamic range is and how it's important for receiving. Really do appreciate that. I have something brought up here. Maybe I'll try to bring up here in a second. All right, very quickly here. This is K1 DBC Net Control. An article from August 2020 or 2002 from the Kiwi X magazine by Doug Smith, KF6DX. Dynamic range is an important measure of transceiver performance. Learn to avoid pitfalls of measuring it and reap a reward in accuracy. Dynamic range testing of transmitters and receivers is increasingly important. Dynamic range may be broadly defined as the ratio of the smallest usable signal to the largest tolerable signal. That definition applies as well to transmitters as it does to receivers. But before they begin their discussion, they'll go into a whole lot more. This is quite a long article here, 7 pages. But yeah, it's pretty good for maybe picking out the lower powered signals out there. But really cool stuff. So it sounds like that is a better improvement for radios. Dynamic range, having a higher dynamic range would be something to look for in more higher end equipment there. Jonathan, SUM. I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else on that subject of what qualities you would look for in newer radios? Go right ahead.
Bravo.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We had Alpha Bravo in there with a follow-up, and then we also had a check-in online, VE3DQW, Rick from Ontario. Thank you so much for checking in there. With that, we'll throw it over to Alpha Bravo. Ken, go ahead.
Yeah, so what do you consider higher end? More bells and whistles? Is that what higher end means?
I think that's what we're trying to define at the moment. Really, what are those higher end features that we would be looking for? Like that higher dynamic range is something I hadn't really heard about before. But yeah, I don't know if you have any other follow up on that, Ken, or anyone else. What really are some of the better features and functionalities in some of these more expensive transceivers nowadays? If anybody knows or has any follow up on that, go ahead.
Kilo Mike 4, Charlie Foxtrot Tango.
Yeah, KM4 CFT, Jonathan, go right ahead.
This is Kilo Mike 4, Charlie Foxtrot Tango. Ultimately, for what I've learned, what I've heard is that when it comes to the higher end stuff, first of all, if you look, there is the Sherwood report with all the rankings, and for what I've been told, once you make it up to a certain point, it's beyond the point of where a human being can actually tell the difference. So the FTDX10, for example, is a higher ranking than the FT710, but for all intents and purposes, they're basically the same radio. They've got certain features that one has and the other one doesn't have, and you have to see which ones that are more important to you. But ultimately, if it's in the top 20 of that list, what you should be going for is you should be valuing things like the user interface. I chose the FTDX10 over the 7300. Even though I like ICOM radios more, there are aspects of the user interface that I thought were more important, such as the way it handles QRM suppression. So with the FTDX10, there is it shows the filter pass band of what I'm receiving, and if there's like a tone or like say QRM, there'll be a little spike on there in the spectrum, and I can use a notch filter to remove that. And with the FTDX10, it actually shows you where the notch is, so I can easily make adjustments to make sure I'm turning it the right way. Whereas with the 7300, you kind of have to do a little bit of guessing because it's just a number as in the side. But I would say if you're trying to pick your radio, I would say head over to like a ham radio outlet and play with some of the radios to see which one feels more important to you or feels better.
All right, CFT Jonathan, thank you so much for the follow-up on that.
Comment, SUM.
All right, then we had SUM Jonathan with a comment in there. I'll throw it to you here in just a second, SUM, and then I can read off some of the key features that Yaesu are featuring about that specific radio there, the FTDX10, which might help to give us a little bit more follow up on that as well. So SUM, KE0 SUM, the net is yours. Go ahead.
I think the last ham was also a Jonathan, but he made a good point at the end. Larry and I do work for Ham Radio Outlet, and you can come to Ham Radio Outlet and say, I'd like to play with some of the radios. You can sit there. We'll put an antenna on it for you. We have a big one outside. But ham radio operators need to feel welcome there. So, yeah, you can come down and check out the different radios, and we're happy to help out. I just thought I'd do a ham radio outlet public service announcement. KE0SUM, back to that.
All right, SUM Jonathan, this is K1 DBC Net Control. All right, yes, lots of people with very similar names sometimes checking in the net, but not a problem at all. Yeah, great. Honestly, it's a great plug. Some of this equipment's not that cheap, and it's, honestly, it is hams that run ham radio outlet, and as Jonathan mentioned himself, and K0LAI work there from time to time, and other ham radio operators. So please don't hesitate to check in. Walk in and ask the questions. Looking at a Google photo image here of Larry from 2017. So if you're looking to purchase equipment or test equipment out, they have a lot of equipment available to use and test out and try. And so yeah, very, very cool stuff there.
LAI.
Yeah, K0 LAI. Larry, go ahead.
It's K0 LAI. I didn't realize someone captured my picture there. Anyway, one of the things to look at, and previous people have already mentioned that, is play with the radio to see if the user interface is what something you like. Some are all screen button push. Some have extra buttons. Some have might have some controls in the wrong place for whether you're right-handed or left-handed, things like that. So if you have an opportunity to go into a place that has a radio that you can try out, you should certainly do that before you spend too much money. And another thing is some of the radios, the higher-end ones that cost more, a lot of times because they have an extra receiver or they might have some other functionality, bigger screen, whatever, and those can add to the cost of the radio. So it all depends on what you're looking for. K0LEI back to net.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, absolutely. A good reiteration there of what Jonathan was also saying, CFT, in terms of look at the requirements that you have and what features and functionalities would make your operations better. Are you into contesting? Are you into Aries? What different features and functionality might make your life easier and more fun within the hobby here? So. Yeah, a very good follow-up there as well. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We have another 20 or so minutes. No hard stop to the end of the net. We had KJ5CJN with a question in the YouTube chat. I'll get back to you here in just a second. But really quickly, just to again, these are some things that I really can't talk about to their full extent because I have no idea. But these are some of the features and functionalities on the that Yaesu that was mentioned there, the FTDX10. Let me drop here for a moment. Hybrid software-defined radio configuration. The new radio utilizes hybrid SDR, narrowband SDR direct sampling. I guess as kind of Jonathan CFT was mentioning there might be some things that you can do after the fact to clean a signal up or get signals that you wouldn't be able to before. Filtering, phenomenal multi-signal receiving characteristics. Wow, high resolution direct digital synthesizers affords quiet and clear reception. A 3DSS, three-dimensional spectrum stream on a 5-inch full color display with touchscreen. Front panel design for superior operating efficiency. Remote control operations through a network. That's a pretty cool operation that I think most people would like to have on their radios, and being able to hook it up to your Ethernet homeland network and being able to operate it as a software-defined radio or transceiver through some software. That's really amazing stuff there. So let me drop here for a moment. Just a more jargon, but more maybe features and functionalities that you might expect within some of the higher end equipment. 15 separate bandpass filters, effective QRM rejection with DSP, high-speed automatic antenna tuner, RF and AF transmit monitor, microphone amp with 3-stage parametric equalizer, quick memory bank, band stack function, optional functions as well. So very nerdy, geeky stuff there, but if you have a need for it, and you really want to pick up the signals from the furthest, if money is not an issue, look into some of these more higher end equipment, and they'll be able to provide. Looks like it's the highest, third highest performing receiver, according to Sherwing.com. But yeah, I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else on that conversation? Go right ahead.
FPI.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We had FPI in there. We had Jeff in the YouTube chat here saying external monitor support is pretty cool on the 7610. So yeah, being able to hook your radio up to an external monitor, it's a pretty cool functionality. So FPI, Ron, go right ahead.
Yeah, Daron, as always, thank you for taking the net. And someday I'll man up and maybe volunteer for one to see how that goes. But for now, my question to Jonathan, the FTDX10 owner, is he considering that Yaesu FTDX10 a high-end radio? And that was kind of my question. I didn't really consider that a radio. And does the SDR make it a high-end radio?
SUM, can I go, drone?
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I think the question was about software-defined functionality. I think it maybe was for CFT, Jonathan, but SUM, go right ahead.
No, I agree. The question was for him. Let's let him go. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, Jonathan, appreciate that, SUM. And Jonathan, KM4CFT, if you have any follow-up on that, is software-defined radio functionality, go right ahead with that.
This is Kilo Mike 4, Charlie Foxtrot Tango. I guess the question is whether or not it being a software-defined radio makes it or does not make it a high-end radio. And I think that there's a bit of a misconception in the fact that software-defined radio doesn't exactly make it good or bad. It's just the difference. There are two main radio architectures out there. The main two that we deal with is super heterodyne, which is an older style, and then we have software-defined radios, which have become more and more popular. The main reason is that we have access to microcontrollers and FPGAs, and the software that we have, embedded systems, are becoming powerful enough that they can actually do the signal processing to convert it. And ultimately, it's just a different way of taking your RF signal and converting it to your audio frequency. Super heterodyne, you take your signal and then you mix it to bring it to an intermediate frequency, and then take that intermediate frequency and then bring it back down to audio. With a software-defined radio, what you're doing is you're splitting it into two signals, referred to as in phase and the quadrature, so they're 90 degrees out of phase. And by doing that, you can extract pretty much everything, all information about that signal. If you look up W2AEW on YouTube, he has a lot of good resources on how that works. If you want to get into the meat and potatoes of that. Ultimately, I consider the FTDX10 a high-end radio. The two radios that are higher than that I believe it's the Flex 6700 and the FTDX10's older brother, the FTDX 101.
Timeout.
Yeah, sorry about that. He'll come back here in just a minute. There's a 3-minute timeout. Just be aware of that. But it'll be reset it in just a second. Very heady conversation. Really do appreciate everyone checking in here on YouTube. We got a good participation here. The net will untime out here in just a second. We'll have another 12 minutes here. Or it normally times out pretty quick. Or untimes out. All right, well, I guess I'll take this quick opportunity. Double monitors. I use a Windows 10 computer. Lots of resources. Please use as much resources as you can. All SSDs, 32 gigs of RAM. I have gigabit internet. I use OBS to stream. I use this spreadsheet to make checking in a lot easier. I have a Yaesu FT857D hooked up through cat control. And that's how you can see there we go. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Sorry about that, CFT Jonathan. There's about a 3-minute timeout. If you want to go right ahead, go ahead and continue.
This is KM4CFT. Where did it drop me?
It's a 3-minute timeout. I do apologize. It timed out about 30 to 40 seconds ago. I don't have a good gist of what you were just speaking about just at the moment. Sorry about that.
This is KM4CFT. I'm pretty sure then it dropped me out right when I was finishing up anyways. If I did cut me off, then the short answer to what I was saying was it absolutely is considered a high-end radio, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. Software-defined radio. It allows you to take signals that normally would be done through hardware and do quite a lot more with them. It depends on kind of the radio features and functionalities. If it takes full advantage of software-defined radio capabilities. But we had a question in there also. Alex asking if you had mentioned the FTDX 101 or the DX10. Jonathan, was that the DX 101 or the DX10?
The radio that I own is a FTDX10. What I was saying earlier was we know that the FTDX10 is number 3 on the Sherwood report. Number 1 on the Sherwood report is the FTDX 101 MP, which is, it's got another receiver in it, I think, and it's also 200 watts, and it's got some better ratings, and I think the second on the list is the Flex 6700. It might be, or it's a Flex radio. I don't know which one it is, but since it's number 3, I think that the FTDX10 is a great radio for. You don't want to spend an absolute a lot, like a insane amount of money, because it's for number 3 on the list. It's pretty impressive that you can get that for. I got mine for $1,200 because there's a bunch of discounts on it. But something that's between the $1,200 to $1,600 range is you're getting basically one of the best radios out there, in my opinion.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the follow-up on that. Yeah, I'm looking at that Sherwang.com now, that table, the FTDX 101D/MP, followed by the Flex Radio 6700 and then the FTDX 10. So it sounds like you're getting a lot for your money there. Radios can be expensive, but being third on the list there, there's quite a few metrics here, but it seems like that is a pretty good bang for your buck there. The FTDX 10, really great recommendation. So hopefully that answered some of the questions there, or FPI, and anyone else in terms of what sort of features and functionalities you might come to expect and see on some of these higher end radios.
FBI.
All right, sorry there, FPI. I'll get back to you here in just a second. I just want to, there was a question in the chat here from KJ5CJN. We've been putting off here a little bit, but it might be kind of in the wheelhouse of what we've been talking about. They're asking, would an IC 7300 be twice the radio of an FT450D or an FT7? So anybody in comparison for the ICOM 7300, the FT450D or the T710. Go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. If I doubled over someone there, and you want to try to follow up on that, go right ahead.
W0TX repeater.
This is KM4CFT.
Yeah, KM4CFT. Go ahead.
I don't know if I heard the question properly, but they were asking the 7300 versus the 710.
Yeah, more or less, the 7300 versus the 710.
Ultimately, I'm just going to say the 710, the FTDX10, and the 7300 are approximately in the same league. The FT710 and the FTDX10 are going to be slightly better in performance. I think we need to check the Sherwood numbers to see where they are. But if you're trying to make a decision between those three, I would say go to Ham Radio Outlet and play with them and see which one you like the most, and things like how does the dial feel and stuff like that. But the other radio, the other Yaesu radio, I don't know about that one, so I can't answer that.
Comment, SUM.
All right, sounds good there, CFT, for the follow-up. Looks like the 710 is just right after the DX10 on that Sherwing list there, so probably a really good bang for your buck there on that. CJN, the FT 710 looks like it would be a pretty good option there. So we also had SUM, go right ahead.
Well, I think we've kind of nailed or narrowed the conversation down to good starter HF radios. Well, while I think the 710 is a nice radio, I do think the DX10 is nicer in a lot of ways for similar money. But you get to the ICOM 7300. Now, for a new ham, a new general, the ICOM 7300 is, I think it's easier to use. I don't know if they'd notice the filtering. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yes, very good follow-up there on that. The ICOM FT710 might be a little bit more expensive and might have some better filtering, but the ICOM 7300 might be a little bit cheaper, but would be a pretty good option to check into as well. So I do appreciate the follow-up on that. All right, we also had FPI Ron with another further follow-up. KF0 FPI, go ahead.
Yeah, Daron. This conversation, I bought an FPDX10, I believe, last February. It was on super bonus sale at HRO, and it's still in the box here. I wasn't even a general when I bought it. Well, I'm a general now, so you guys have got me excited to pull it out of the box, and that'll be a great winter project. And while I'm on the net, I wanted to see if, excuse me, the lunch club is on for Valley Inn next Wednesday. We met up at Carmine's a month ago. I want to see if anybody's on for lunch next Wednesday on the 15th. This is KF0 FPI.
Comment.
Great follow-up there, FPI. And I meant to ask how that last meetup went as well, if you want to follow up on that. But it looks like the Valley Inn restaurant up in Lakewood potentially as well. We had a comment there. SUM, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's on my calendar. Valley Inn, 11:30. Jewel and Wadsworth. Let's see. Last month, 4 of us got together, and Carmen and Narrows did not disappoint. We had a good time, but we decided to move down a little bit. But everybody is welcome to join in. We kind of hang out. We all look like ham radio operators, and I have, of course, an antenna on the car. KE0 SUM, back to net.
All right. Excellent to hear on that. Appreciate that. So it sounds like this coming Wednesday, did you say, Ron? Or the 15th, next Wednesday, potentially 11:30 a.m. at the Valley Restaurant?
That's 100% correct. At 11:30, I think we need to make that's the standard. And I had Alpha Bravo, I had TRP, I had SUM. The four of us met a month ago, and we had a grand meet and greet and a good time. So we're just trying another venue, and like Jonathan said, if anybody else would like to join in, that would be cool. But just retired. We don't. This could be our most exciting thing to do every month. Who knows? This is KFCUSCI.
All right, excellent. Really do appreciate that, FPI. Yeah, it's glad that you're all able to help coordinate that. And yeah, again, 11:30 on the 15th, up in Lakewood, the Valley Inn restaurant on Wadsworth Boulevard. So yeah, check it out. Bring your equipment, do some show and tell. Maybe do there's some parks on the air over there, or summits on there, or some whatever. But yeah, very cool stuff. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I guess, as they say, time flies as you have fun. So yeah, this has been a great net. No hard stop to the net, but I'll try to just bring up some quick couple things that we talked about, some reminders, and we'll continue the net for a few more minutes and close things out here. All right, so we had a few new check-ins. Really do appreciate that. We had W1CBY Peter via the repeater, and then KQ4MBU Jeff, and VE3DQW Rick via YouTube. Really do appreciate that. So I don't know, Peter, if you're still there, CBY, if you want to follow up, really do appreciate you checking in the net here. If you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to let us know. But W1CBY, if you have anything, go right ahead.
Very good. W1CBY Peter here. Yes, I'm from New Hampshire, and I'm visiting my son and his wife and our two granddaughters here in Highland Springs, or Highland Ranch rather. So I thought I'd check in. I heard you guys just starting the net. So ordinarily I'm back in New Hampshire. I do get on HF quite a bit, the TS590 in Kenwood and a ICOM IC9100. So I like to work a lot of DX on HF. Been licensed since 2010. The call sign was my grandfather's. He was licensed in 1921. He died before I was born, so I never got to know him. But anyway, that's a little bit about me. Back to the net.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for the introduction there, W1CBY. Peter, yeah, thank you so much for visiting and checking in. We appreciate that. Yeah, don't hesitate if you're ever interested. We have a lot of things on social media and YouTube, and if you're ever out of the state, don't hesitate to keep checking in. And yeah, looks like you got great setups there, and yeah, really happy to hear that, and cool history about the call sign. So yeah, thank you so much again for checking in.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Let's see. Again, as a reminder, if anybody's interested, there's a pretty cool opportunity coming up on the 22nd of this month. If you'd like to take net control operations, we'd be happy to help you out as much as possible. If you feel comfortable, you're more than happy to take the reins. So the 22nd, fourth Wednesday of the month. If you'd like to take net control operations, we're happy to show you the ropes and help you out here. So again, if you've heard and listened in onto this net or any of the other nets we've had previously, it's a fairly casual conversation, and it's just tossing things back and forth. I am not a genius, and it's honestly you all really that are making this club what it is. So really, we do appreciate everyone helping out and answering questions and helping out. So if anybody's interested, get a hold of me, K1DBC. At w0tx.org, and I'd be more than happy to help you out with that.
TRP with a comment?
Yeah, N0TRP. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, this N0TRP, just as some information for somebody who might be thinking about trying it out. You don't need to have all the video equipment and setup that the drone has. I certainly don't. If fact, don't even necessarily even really need a computer. You can write the check-ins down on a list and then send it off to drone after the fact if you want. So just however you want to work it would be great. N0TRP back to net.
Comment.
Absolutely, really do appreciate that, TRP. I'll get to you here in a second, Jonathan. Comment. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I take things to the nth degree just to make my life easier. But whatever you feel and you get into a groove, that works for you. So yeah, if you want to type it out or write it out on paper or type it out however you want, whatever is easiest. Again, the YouTube is really just. Honestly, I started the YouTube to show people behind the scenes of net control operations, to show that it's actually not that big of a deal, really. But awesome. Really do appreciate that. Jonathan, SUM, go ahead.
I think everyone should try hosting a net for at least one time. It's kind of daunting because I'll draw on I've done a number of nets over the years, but it's always it's like when you're a radio DJ, you don't like what they call dead air. It's like, okay, is anybody going to talk to me about anything? So it can be quite daunting and so forth. You have to have a pretty good spirit about it and not worry too much about it. But yeah, everyone should try it, but I'm over those days. KE0SUM, back to net.
SUM, Jonathan, absolutely. This is kind of a radio show, honestly. And yeah, dead air, yeah. And we're not being paid to be here. There's no show after us. So take your time, feel comfortable, and find the rhythm and the groove. And I think net control operations, a lot of people can do it. So yeah, please, if anybody's ever interested, don't hesitate to let us know, because we're here to show you that it's not that daunting of a task. And once you start hearing call signs and names and start to recognize things, it becomes a lot easier. So with that, yeah, I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions so far for this evening's net? Please call now.
FPI was a question to TRP.
FPI for TRP. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I called Jim to see if he was going to make lunch next Wednesday. Back to that.
It's N0 TRP. Yes, sir. Planning to do so. Back to net.
Very good. Jim, one other question to the net. Has there been any problems with 6-meter repeater? I mean, it's 50090. It's always not chiming in time, and it's kind of been that way since the snowstorm. Does anybody know anything about that, or do I need to email Jerry? Back to that.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, we weren't made aware of that. We did have a recent board meeting. They did take a visit. Orlin and Kevin Schmidt, I think, took a visit not to the 6-meter repeater, but to our main Centennial cone to check it out. But I think Jerry checks into the 6-meter net on Sundays, I thought, at least. But we can certainly bring it up. I think there's a tech committee, tech at w0tx.org. I'm not too sure who's on that still, but let us know about that, because, we had not heard about that.
No, I call her Matilda. She chimes off every hour on the top of the hour, and I religiously, she would chime off when I was on that frequency. And ever since that snowstorm a week or two ago, whenever it was, it has not been consistent, and the transmission from that tower has not hit the S meter like it has last year or two.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We have our tech committee meeting tomorrow, so we will bring that up there and let Jerry know. Maybe we can take a trip out there. I don't think we've done any updates to that repeater controller or repeater at all, but we can certainly take a look at the 6-meter repeater and see why it's acting up. But yeah, thanks for bringing that to the attention here. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. All right, it is 8:40 p.m. Mountain Time. We do appreciate everyone checking in. Very similar to what we've been talking about here recently. A lot of software-defined radio stuff, presentations here recently. The Software-Defined Radio Academy, along with GNU Radio, GRCCon, and I think some other events as well. So check out the Software Defined Radio Academy YouTube channel, as well as the GNU Radio project. It kind of helps to explain a little bit further about what software-defined radio is and how it impacts us and radio in general. So a lot of videos here recently on that. So again, Software-Defined Radio Academy and GNU Radio. What else? We have our meeting coming up next week, still to be announced. More information on our website, w0tx.org. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I have at the moment, but anyone else at the moment? Any other comments, questions, check-ins? Otherwise, we'll probably start to shut the net down.
Question for Doron, KM4CFT.
Yeah, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I also just wanted to state, or go ahead and check out that webpage, our YouTube, W2AEW, as Jonathan mentioned there, KM4CFT. Pretty cool kit. I just wanted to give you a shout out there. I saw your name come up here, so pretty cool stuff there on a kit built by CFT Jonathan. So, yeah, but if you have any further comments or questions, go ahead, Jonathan.
W0TX repeater.
This is KM4CFT. Just wanted to ask you, since you're one of the officers of the club, you probably saw on the W2AW channel that there was a new video out. He's actually built a kit that I designed and I'm selling. And I was wondering if there was any special process I need to go through if I wanted to donate some for like door prizes at some of the events. Specifically the one that is for the Christmas party that's coming up.
Awesome. Thank you so much for even presenting that as an idea. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if there's an official process. I think you can just get a hold of our club president, Jerry Vilhauer. He can maybe take hold of those, president at w0tx.org. I may or may not be able to make the holiday event, so himself would be a pretty good person to hand things over to. So yeah, president at w0tx.org I think would be a pretty good follow-up, and yeah, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was just wanted to do that, and I don't know if I'm allowed to plug this, but if you go onto my QRZ page, there should be in my bio a mention of the product, and if anyone wants to build a ultra compact NFED half-wave antenna, at least the matching unit for it, I'm working with Ham Gadgets to sell them for like $30 if anyone's interested and wants to support me.
Awesome. Again, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I really do appreciate your presence here. You seem to be pretty good on social media and pretty cool with kit building. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, I wanted to try to get in that myself, but our kit manufacturing. So yeah, really cool opportunity and really awesome entrepreneurship opportunities within our hobby and whatnot. So really awesome stuff there. KM4 CFT on QRZ. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, there'll be some pretty cool door prizes, it sounds like. We'll have at our upcoming December holiday meeting. It's the third Wednesday of December. More information on our club webpage. By check only this year. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully pretty good turnout and yeah, pretty good event here, in-person event. So yeah, appreciate that. And again, yeah, over on the W2 AEW, he has a video of the kit put there by KM4 CFT. You could check that out. So yeah, appreciate that. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. 8:45 here. We'll probably start to wrap things up. This will be the last call. Any last minute comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Club, we've already kind of covered club business. Next week's going to be our meeting, still to be announced, w0tx.org for more information on that. We're always happy to take your help. If anybody wants to volunteer, we have a lot of opportunities, a lot of recent for sales wanted. You can check it on there. And yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So w0tx.org. We appreciate the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters. YouTube.com/Denver Radio Club. You can check out past meetings, past nets. Appreciate everyone able to participate in that. So with that, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Let me see if there's any other last minute things. Otherwise, we will wrap it up. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, upcoming in-person event, kind of just a very casual opportunity. If you'd like, on the 15th, next Wednesday, meeting at the Lakewood restaurant, Valley Inn restaurant, with some of our local club members. w0tx.org/Discord. If you like this conversation and you want to continue it on throughout the rest of the month, it is our chat room, essentially. So we'd love to continue the conversation on there. Lots of help and a lot of friendly people on there. So w0tx.org/Discord. Okay, this is Daron, K1 DBC Net Control. Pleasure, as always. So more information on our website for next month. The meeting is at 7 p.m. and the Elmers session, very similar to this, is at 6 p.m. So we'd love to see you there. Yeah, 7-3, I am clear. Everyone have a good evening. All right, everyone. We will see you all next week.